All right, so Bilt Hamber pre-order, depending on when you're watching this, it could be available in the store if you're watching this years later, but the Bilt Hamber pre-order is live for everybody. If you go to the website, obsessedgarage.com, you can pre-order the stuff. And this has been on my agenda for quite some time, but I was waiting to get my new, more concentrated version, or I don't know what iteration of touchless this is for Pete and the Bilt Hamber group, but for me, this is version 2. So I've been using version 1. Version 1 really wasn't concentrated enough to work with my two dual Krenzlas. I was getting somewhere around a 3% panel impact ratio. And so today, now with the new concentrated formula, I want to be able to figure out, I'd like to figure out what dilution, how much product we need to put in the foam cannon. And then also I want to figure out if we use Griot's Garage has metering tips where we could put soap directly in, we may be able to put it in a more concentrated form and just sort of leave it in the foam cannon, for longer. I think what I'm going to want to do, I think I have some distilled water in there in the house, is if I'm going to put pre-diluted soap in my foam cannon, I don't want to just use tap water. I want to use distilled water because then there'll be less chance of me making the foam less effective. So what I'm doing now is I'm changing out my orifice here in the foam cannon. This is a 1.5, which is set up for my dual Krenzlas. So I'm going to put a 1.25 in because what I want to figure out here for all of you, there's like 10 people in the world that have dual Krenzlas. So I want to figure out first for you guys what dilution we need, what amount of product we're putting in the foam cannon, just so you can use this as a reference. Many of you have Krenzlas. Many of you, you could probably use a similar formula for Active 2.0. You could probably use the same formula, let me take the old one out, for Comet. Anything around 2 gallons a minute is going to be pretty similar to this. So the new version of the Bilt Hamber touchless it's more effective even at a 1 or 2% panel impact ratio. So we're able to use it at in a less concentrated form and get the same amount of cleaning effectiveness. We were using it at 4%. What are we going to use, Tommy? What are we going to target here? 1%?
So yeah, probably 1 to 1.5.
So theoretically, you won't have to do this. I'm just doing this because I'm going to use a single Krenzla pressure washer instead of a dual. And so I had to switch my orifice to the proper size. If you have a vise, it's always easier to work with a vise when you're messing with your fittings. I finally changed out the hose that I've been promising to change out for a really long time. But if you're a real obsessed person, you'll make sure you line up the flats properly. There are no flats on this, but I would choose to make sure that my fitting was like pointed straight up. I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do that when I put it back together. Okay, so now we have our foam cannon set up and ready to go. So this is the old stuff. This is the new stuff. So we're expecting, if you're watching this video live in probably a month, it's on the water, theoretically, headed toward us. So to start, I'm going to just fill up the foam cannon with water, and then we're going to follow the directions on the bottle. And we're going to use our empty gallon. So it essentially says the PIR, panel impact ratio, between 0.5 and 2%, whereas this one, the original, was between 2% and up to 5%. So we're talking about up to 8% more effective or more concentrated, if you will, or more whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's the empty one. So the procedure is fill the reservoir, which is our foam cannon, and we're going to fill it with capacity with plain water. We're going to turn the detergent feed to full, so turn it all the way up, all the way to positive. So we either want to go to the line or all the way up, one or the other.
Like right at the line, right at the 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, and so then we're going to take a large bucket or container and discharge the lance until the reservoir is empty. And then that'll allow us to make our calculation. So I've got 1,000 milliliters, 1 liter of water, and we're going to turn on a single pressure washer. So I forget how my valves work here. I've never actually used this. So I'm going to turn this valve off. All right, so that one's off. This one's on. Really, I could just turn the pressure washer off as well, but I don't want it to be diverting any extra water or backfeeding the other pressure washer while I'm using just one. So always make sure to take your PP plug off before you turn your water on. That's a big mistake you could make. Put this on my gun. Take my wand off here. Ooh, new hose is smooth. Okay.
A lot of air in the line though, so it would take a while to purge the air out.
Yep, let's turn this on. So I'm not going through the CR, just using the regular pressure washer. Okay, pressure washer's up. Out of my pocket. Pull this out. So used to getting a stopwatch out for this one. You don't need a stopwatch. We just need our foam cannon, and then the water going down. So you'd only have to do this one time. Just make sure our weight is at the bottom here, so I don't. So just a tip, because it's water and you're not using soap, you want to make sure that it's not like if your weight is not submerged in the water, you're going to be blowing water through here and you're going to get a miscalculation. So I need to make sure that I'm still siphoning water. So I need to make sure that my weight is down here at the bottom, so that way I'm not pulling soapless water, if you will, or waterless water. That's it. Okay.
Now,
so I brought this so we can get a real accurate measurement.
so what you can also do as well, so again on the product page, if you have a scale, it might be easier. So what you do is weigh the empty bucket, then put the water in the bucket like we just did, and then weigh the bucket, and then in the calculator you can change the units to pounds of water, and then it'll tell you properly, so you don't have to do a picture if you don't have a picture.
So what do I have here? So this is a liter, not a gallon, right?
Yeah, we can do liters as an option for the unit. No liters.
I like the accuracy of this. A little bit of residual soap. Okay, so there's 2 liters. Not quite. Do a little. Four liters. Six liters. Eight. It's almost like I don't want it to be. It's like when you're doing a gallon test, you're like, please give me some extra weight. There's 10. One more. Nope, a little more than one. 12. we at here? 60. So what did I say? 12,000 plus, so 13,600.
So that is 1,600 milliliters, 1 liter.
That's 1,560.
Okay,
So,
1,560. So
yeah.
13,560.
Yeah. So what?
I don't know if you can pick this up, but again, here's the product page for Bilt Hamber.
Okay.
You just keep scrolling down. Bryce made this really cool calculator, so you can change your units to gallons if you have gallons, milliliters if you have milliliters. But then again, if you weight your bucket, you could also do it by weight. But we did milliliters, so 13,560 milliliters, and then I'm just going to put PIR of 2, and then you
Okay.
put calculate, and so you need 270 milliliters of touchless, and then fill the rest of your foam cannon to
Wow. Okay.
2,000. So again, because you did that test, you only need to do that once. And so if
Yep.
you wanted to change your PIR to say 1,
Yep.
just calculate it, and then it'd be 135 milliliters of touchless in your foam cannon.
So what I would suggest you do, come over here to your gallon, get yourself a paint marker, and write your test number on there, because you won't have a video like I will to come and look at it.
So do you want to write like
I'm gonna write-
PIR1 this much?
I can, yeah. So yeah, let's do that. So our test was 13,000. Oh boy, this isn't gonna work. Just gotta get a freaking regular marker. So what do we call that on our bucket? We call that's our
Watering bucket was
yeah. Okay. So 13,000 is our base.
Yeah, 560 is the number. That's milliliters.
Okay, so then let's do 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2
Sure.
is what I would do on my one. So that's what I would want to know.
Okay, so
Okay.
0.5,
Yep.
you would do 67.8 milliliters of touch.
So let's do 68.
Yep, yeah, round up. That's
Okay.
Yep, and then for 1, you would do 136.
Yep.
For 1.5, you would do 204. And then for 2, which is the
It was
maximum,
276, right?
271.
So then I have this on my gallon, and every time I get a new gallon, this is my genius mic here. Or my stupidity because I can't remember it. And then that's in 1,000. You're not supposed to put commas on metric in the foam cannon. What's your per? Okay, so now I have that there, and now I'm good.
We can post this too. I mean, I have an AR at home, so I'll do this test and I can, post this.
Yeah, it'd be super helpful for people because I mean, you don't do this all the time. You'd have to okay, I'm gonna go watch this hour-long video. But it really, once you do it once, now I'm done. Now I'm good with a single Krenzel forever.
Yep, and if you have it active, you could probably have a very similar baseline.
Right.
So.
And so my suggestion would be if you're going to, so before I was using touchless straight up because in order to get a 4% panel impact ratio, I had filled up like 8 gallons, right? Which would have been equivalent to needing more concentrated than what's in this thing. And so I was getting like a 3% PIR on my car. So now that the product is much more effective, if you will, I don't know if more concentrated, it's a different formula, right? Now that the formula is different, our panel impact ratios necessary is half, and actually, I'm probably gonna run this at, 1% most of the time. But now that I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it in my foam cannon. If I fill this up to 1,000 milliliters, I'm not gonna use the whole thing. Like my car, I'm probably only gonna use a third of the foam cannon, right? So now I've got product that's just sitting in here, and I don't wanna dump it in my bucket because this isn't our normal soap. So you've seen me do this for years where I put 150 milliliters, which, I'm always putting extra because it's fun, and I get, soap on the cheap. So when I'm done with, because then I just take my tap water, I fill it up. When I'm done, I just dump it in my soap bucket and I use the rest of the soap. But with this, you're not going to do that. But if you're taking tap water and you're diluting it, you're going to have some mineral content in the water. This is going to be, over the next week, is going to be attacking the mineral content of the water. So in a perfect world, buy yourself several gallons of distilled or DI water. You can run it from your deionizer if you have a filler on the end of it. But you want mineralless water for your dilution. I think that's what you want. So let's see what happens before we start filling this up and wasting a bunch of product. Let's see what happens if we put metering tips on here.
Do the test here.
Yeah, because what our calculation will tell us then, we'll have, to get, I'd be surprised if the metering tips work at all. We'll see. We got to get lucky. There's only 3 options.
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out, because if we put that in there and then do the water test or whatever, that's not necessarily saying that we could just put straight soap and it be the same.
Well, but what we can do, what theoretically is, if the metering tip is, so if this slows it down to the point.
Oh, where it's enough to just pour straight soap in. I see what you're saying.
Correct,
Yep,
correct.
Yep,
so, and it may not be straight soap, but it may be, 800 milliliters of soap, 200 milliliters of water, which means then this would last like 10 cars instead of 3 cars, right? Because we're going to slow the flow of solution down, and the water, so the amount of water coming through here is going to be the same, or close to the same, but the amount of siphoning is slowing down. So we're not siphoning as much product up through. And so because we're bringing the product up slower, we can use a more concentrated product, but we'll see if any of these could be more effective. And it would just mean that, again, instead of using this scenario, shoot, I just wrote it on the bottom, I'm gonna have to wipe that off if we decide to use metering tips. And actually, yeah, shoot, I shouldn't have written that on the bottle because I'm not gonna use a single rinse. Oh well. I'll use some Tarex will take that off.
We have a second bottle if you need it.
We'll sell that.
Yeah.
All right, so theoretically, what were our colors here? Teal was maximum foam.
Yeah, the aqua, that's what they call it. Aqua is the maximum foam.
The pink.
Purple, they say for, this is where they don't really know what they're talking about, but they say purple is for electric pressure washers with 1100 to 2200 psi. So they're talking about psi instead of flow. So
which means nothing, right?
Yeah, so I assume they're saying the purple is for the cheaper electric pressure washers.
Okay.
For gas powered pressure washers, they say pink.
So theoretically, purple is going to siphon, it's going to have the smallest hole, it's going to siphon the least amount of product, so we would have to have the most concentrated product.
Yep.
It's possible that this doesn't siphon enough and we don't have enough concentrate for it to even work. So that's what we're going to have to figure out here. So I'm going to fill this up, and this is going to take like a bunch of buckets, I would think.
Probably, yeah, it might take quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can empty the other ones here.
Yeah, let me fill this up. This is why I wanted another set of eyes here to think through this. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, okay. So, should we start with the most, start with the one that uses the least product? That would be the goal. So I'm going to start with pink. The goal would be to have to dilute or have to remake my solution as little as possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, ideally it'd be awesome if you could just pour the straight soap in. So if that number says, fill your foam cannon with you know, 900, I mean, you'd be probably pretty close enough.
But we got to get lucky here.
Yeah, extremely lucky.
So what we could do is we could work with Griots. I'm actually going to the Griots factory next week.
Oh, really?
I could have them make me one specifically for this.
Yeah, cool.
But I'd have to know what that is.
Yeah. Where's your factory? Is it in Washington?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yeah. Talk about coming full circle in life, huh? Okay.
Hey, Jason.
Oh shoot, this is not the right. What did I just do here? Was this the one we used? Crap. Which foam cannon was which? It's definitely it because I didn't line the flat up on this one. So that's it. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this series, I appreciate your support. Go to obsessedgarage.com, get yourself a plate frame. I think these things are awesome. We get these from a company called Kamisaska. I think this is like my third or fourth product, something we've had for a really long time. They also give and provide these little covers or screw hiders. So we'll do these as well. This car is a 4-hole, so we need 4 of them. So we have these in the store as well. I think they're a couple of bucks. So we got some screws, got my covers, got my plate, got Drew's dealer plate here. Another thing to note, screws on the Swiss tracks, no big deal. Just keep that in mind when you're freaking out about that. So we take that, these things unscrew like this. Let's hope that our screws are long enough to reach through all this. And then we put it on our, center that up, just keep it loose so I can get these all in position. We'll be the only people ever to run a 37-minute long mid-roll ad. But hey, I like to break down walls. Position. Then get this centered up. And then these little caps screw on. There you go. Wax it. Your car will look sweet. I love the Honda, but I think that's a little better. Go to Obsessed Garage, get yourself a plate frame. I'm gonna be here for a while.
So I did some quick math, because I can already tell this is probably going to be too restrictive. So to have, with the PIR of 2%,
Yep.
you need 50,000 milliliters in the bucket to have it request 1,000 milliliters of touchless in the foam can.
Okay, so
So-
6 gallons is how many milliliters?
Well, let me see. Well, 500 or 50,000 milliliters is 13.2 gallons. So
Okay.
you're like not even halfway through the foam cannon and almost one bucket already. So it might not. Like what? You're maybe a quarter of the way through the foam cannon.
Yeah. No, I'm like
Not even. Yeah.
I'm like 75 milliliters of
So
product.
I think that's restricting too much because then you're going to fill up way more than 13 gallons, which then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I hope that's making sense to the
Yeah.
viewers. I don't know if it is, but again, so to have the calculator request full concentrate of touchless in the foam cannon, we need it to, in the bucket, measure 50,000 milliliters or 13.2 gallons.
All right, so less than, you know, it would
Less
be.
than what we're currently doing, yeah.
Correct. All right, so let's go straight to the big boy
Awful.
then. Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, because I went and used it's so hard to see this. Yeah, I used whatever the heck one line is. 600, 700. Yeah, that was 100.
Milliliters.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like 5 gallons of water or something like that.
Right. So we would need a soap concentration of, 4 times what we actually have. Yeah. Well, it's too soapy. I'm going to try to get fresh water. So we're going to skip the purple, and then we'll come back to the purple if this doesn't work.
Yeah, watch it be too much.
Okay, so we still have this turned all the way up. I got 1,000, 1 liter in here. See where we're at.
I'm doing it a little.
There, yeah, there's like 125. gonna be close. It might, in a perfect world. But that would mean anything above a Krenzla and AR, no metering if it's close. It's not the end of the world. It's super easy to just do it without it. It's not exactly 6 gallons because I have the thingy in there.
Take it out.
I don't know. Try. No, we're messing it up.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to measure. So I can actually see.
Around 5, maybe a little more.
No, it's going to be more than, it's at like 600. I'm going to start measuring that and get it real accurate. I mean, you could theoretically just extrapolate the data, do 500 milliliters, you know, or 250 milliliters. We're getting there. It's going to be really close. I've got like 150 milliliters left. Here's switch buckets.
16.
We'll switch tracks mid-roll here. Drainage.
Drainage roll. There we go.
So it's 50, what was that? That'd be 55.
55,500. Yeah.
Okay, 55,500 milliliters.
Okay. So we can't get a 2% panel impact ratio.
No, but if I wanted a 1.5,
At 55,000.
yeah, 55,000. What was it, 55,500?
Yep.
Not quite. So that's what the, let's see if we can get it close. Well, that's pretty close to,
So 1.8. So you could get with the Aqua on my Krenzla, if I fill this with 1,000 milliliters of product, I'd get a 1.8 panel impact ratio.
pretty good.
And that would probably last
A long time.
at least 10 washes.
Yeah, I mean, they say with 1,000, like if you're diluting without the tips and stuff,
Yeah.
you can get 4 washes per 1,000 milliliters. Ish. We typically use a little bit more soap than that, so
Yeah.
3 to be safe per 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, 1.8 would kind of be, I think, a perfect, because then you're right at maximum effectiveness.
Yeah, you're very close to maximum.
Yeah. So if you're considering this, you would, the other thing you could consider, which if you wanted to, you could just turn this down as well to get another calculation. Not with the tip, not with the metering tip. So if you took the metering tip out, so theoretically, if they calculated this right, if this was turned all the way down, this should be at the edge. Oh shoot, it goes way down. So this turned all the way down should be just before a metering tip gets installed from how much siphoning comes, and then the metering tip. So with this turned all the way up and the metering tip in, it should be the next step of.
I'm not sure if that's how they do
It probably isn't, but
Yeah. But yeah, so at least what you could say is if you have a Krenzla and you put the Aquatip in there, you
Yeah.
will be in the safe zone for using touchless.
correct.
You won't get the full maximum, 2 PIR, but 1.8 is
Right.
getting close.
It'll just save you the trouble.
Yeah, and
of
John's
having-
done a bunch of testing, John at Forensic,
Yeah.
like comparing the different PIRs, like the effectiveness on he does, test panels and dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said the 1.5 to 2 was pretty negligible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could say 1.8 probably wins sweet spot. And here, I'll do the roll. You would not be able to do this if you had epoxy floors.
You could.
How many gallons now? Like 30 maybe? I don't know.
You're going to get 1.8 is the maximum PIR you can get with a Krenzla and the Aqua metering tip.
Yes.
Or you can just follow our original formula here and
dilute.
just get some distilled water, call it a day, dilute it. And every 4th wash you're going to have to fill up versus every 10th wash. Whoop-de-doo. Or you can just roll it at 1.8 PIR, which is probably good to go. And you don't have to think about anything. You don't dilute anything, you don't need any distilled water, you don't need any of that crap. So let's do a quick test on my dual.
So your dual Krenzla, definitely don't use the metering tips. So the goal is to see if you can do straight concentrate, I think, right, with the dual.
So with the dual, I'm looking to try to get. Yeah, I'm looking to try to get 2%, which I should be able to. Theoretically, I might be able to meter a little. Might be able to use one of the tips.
Okay. Well, I just got to try it.
Yeah. Back to this.
Is that the?
This is the other one, the 1.5. You know what we should do? We should convince Josh or Keeve to do all the work, and they'd make a killing on affiliate with Bilt Hamber if they, every pressure washer they tested, they told everybody what the dilution was. I'm going to talk to them about that. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. Not going to be any metering for me, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So just under, no problem. It looks like it's probably around 5 degrees.
Yep. So let me think about this. So if I went, there's no way of metering.
Two.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier to weigh this. But most people aren't going to have a scale. They can buy one of these. That's 18,000, 19,000.
19,000, was that 800?
Yeah. Yeah, 19.
Granted, we don't need to be super perfect if analysis is super perfect, that's what we're measuring, but yeah.
Yeah, it's right at it. So 20,000.
So that means you probably can.
Wait, no. 19,000, sorry, 19,100. Yeah.
19,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can meter then because it's requesting 382. Yeah, you need to fill up multiple buckets if you can't dial back. So if you were to, dilute your soap,
Yeah.
saying to 382 milliliters of touchless.
Okay, let me write this down. So we've got 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2.
So 0.5, it's 96. 1 is 191. 1.5 is 287. And 2 is 382.
But let's just think about this. I don't think I can meter because we need double the solution than we did here. Not double, but 50% more. So if I put this on there, it's going to need it's going to need 1,500 milliliters, so I can't meter at all because of the required concentration. So what was my number there? It was 19,100.
Yes.
Yeah. 1,000 solution. No metering. No metering allowed. For this one, metering. So metered.
Aquatip.
Yeah.
So in theory, could you just go like touchless mode and just run a single Krenzla, have your foam can set up for?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just do the rinse dual Krenzla, you definitely could.
Concentrate.
And you could put 1.8 PIR. I think is what it was. I don't know if it was 1.8
Yeah.
or 1.8. Let's see.
Well, what would be, I guess there wouldn't be any reason to meter. If you're going to dilute, screw the metering. Unless you just wanted to leave the meter tip on.
Yeah,
like if
no,
I wanted to do
I would pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for myself personally, I kind of like you, I like setting it up, right? So I like diluting it, and then you do have the ability to kind of be more, what's the word? You can change, your PIR depending on your needs. So if your car's super duty, you can do it too. Where again, if you have the concentrate, you're like stuck at that 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
First step, that's the word.
So let's see how the product, just for the video here, let's see how the product works. Let me make my solution here. I'm going to go 2%. I'm going to do my car here, and let's see how it works. Because I haven't used this formulation, right? So we don't even know if it foams.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will foam. You want to go straight to 2? You want to do 1.5? Or you want to just go full?
Yeah, I'm a full kind of guy.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
If it doesn't degrade at 2%, what do I care? It costs me 20 cents more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it'd degrade. I think it would just get more effective and probably like strip more would be my guess.
right. And so if there's no negative other than cost,
Sure. Yeah.
what do I care? And now I understand if you're trying to conserve, and say you're a young guy and you're starting out, you want to conserve because you can make it go twice as long if you do a panel impact ratio of 1. If you find that 1 is effective for you, you want to save some money.
Yes.
I'm not worried about the $45. So what are we selling? This 43?
Yeah, the 5 liters $43, and then the 1 liter's like $14.50. It's really.
So let's see. We can extrapolate. So I'm going to make my 1,000. I'm going to do my car the way I normally would do, and then we'll see how much we use, and then we can tell how many cars we can do.
Sure.
Right? And then from there we can tell how many cars a gallon will do. We needed to use more of this. So you guys buy now that I'm the sole distributor for this.
We only recommend 2 PIR.
Yeah. Let me see if I think I got some distilled water here. All right, so I want 382 milliliters. So I want 250 and another 132.
And see, they updated their cap too, which I like.
Yeah.
That cap. It's cool.
Let's see if I can not spill this brown gold here. It's gold.
You're way high. Right? How much is that? Oh, it's 250.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. We're going for scientific precision here.
It is strong.
Oof.
Careful. Yeah, it's much more potent.
Yo,
I did the same thing.
yo, that'll wake up the nostrils there. So I need 132 more. It's too much. It's 120. There's this scale here. So 50, 75, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, yeah. So 25, 30. So I'm gonna go down to that one. Okay, this is fun.
So then the rest to 1,000 water.
Yeah. But that's a heck of a sight less. I was filling it all the way up.
Exactly.
And still not at the same effective functioning rate, if you will. So then Kate has a little precision set up here too. Look at that. Stole my turkey baster. Feeder for hermit crabs. She's gonna be so mad if I steal all her. I'm gonna have to buy some distilled water now. There we go. Okay, so now that I use distilled water, I should be able to just keep this in the foam cannon in between. So now,
So you're gonna do foam with single Krenzel and then, because that's your 1.2. Wait, which foam cannon is that?
yeah, that's the wrong one. That's the 1.25. Yeah, I mean, just because of the extra effectiveness and the speed at which I can do it, I think I'd rather just do dual. So I think, you know, we're sitting here jerking around making a video, but if you spend a little time, one time, right, write it on the back of your bottle, and then you're good forever.
Yeah, the other thing I will note is like this, I would say it was only recommended for like when we did the single Krenzel with the Griot's foam cannon. If you have a different foam cannon, it may draw at a different rate than the Griot's.
Oh, sure,
So
yeah.
definitely-
That's what I'm saying. We're giving you the formula on how to do this, but you should really go in and do the work.
Yeah.
You know, but take 45 minutes one Saturday,
Yeah, not even,
and then you'll
yeah.
write it down and you'll have it forever.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go around the car like I normally would, then we can give you an idea of how many cars you can do with one foam cannon full.
Say that foam's pretty okay.
Yeah. And now the nice thing is I don't have to be as, like I was rushing through it because I felt like I was just rifling money out there. So this is why I want to go dual, just because of better foam. Okay, so on a dual Krenzel setup I used, so I'm only gonna get like 2 cars.
Yeah. You could probably work it where you're more efficient or whatever, but
Yeah,
two
so
cars safely.
yeah, so I'm gonna get 2 cars, and that was 382 milliliters out of 50,000, right?
300 out of 50,000. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 liter, 5 liters, 1,000. Sorry, 5,000, not 50,000, 5,000. So 382, 5,000 divided by, or no, so 382 got me 2 washes, right? So if I got 2 washes, 382 got me 2 washes, so 382 divided by 2, 191. So 5,000 divided by 191. I ought to get 26.2 washes out of a single 5 liter.
Correct. Using the most concentrated one. And so
Right.
if you did a 1, you'd double that. You get 4.
So on a single Krenzla, I'm gonna get. Well, I mean, I could do it real fast. Let's do it, just to get people, because no one's doing this. You know, no one has the, you know, some people do, but very few people do. So let me mix up a 2% solution based on this formula. So 271, because it's going to rifle through quite a bit less water. So if I turn this off, turn my valve off, this is the right foam cannon. So we're gonna do 271. 250. So I need 21 more. That's 25. Down a little bit.
The viscosity of the new stuff is much higher.
Yeah.
Like this is the old one, much more liquidy.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah. Can we start selling distilled water now too? Let's bottle it in a special bottle.
Tip is the right one.
I don't know, the new one, the 4.0 is what you need right now. That one.
I'm gonna rinse it. Is that 3D printed or what is that?
Yeah.
Interesting. But it's using like a more rubberized material.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'd probably put it down there out of the way.
Yeah.
Was it, he's called Mad Detailing? I can't remember I should have remembered his name. I thought maybe if I liked it, we could work with them like Perfect Detail or something and collab. Yep.
It's very similar.
2, yep, 2, same thing. So 27 washes, give or take. 26 washes per 5 liter.
Are you washing this or?
No, I just did.
Okay.
Touchless washing.
Okay, got it. Got the dual currents and currency.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't reach.
Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to CR spotless it, and then I'm not even going to frickin' dry it.
Oh, smart. Yep.
Although my resin's probably toast because I've never used this one. This will be the first time I've been planning to get the darn 4.0 nozzle forever. So it's right here.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I might like that. So you're not looking for your tip. Oh, shoot. Just to make sure it actually works.
Like interfere.
Yeah. TDS meter says. It seems so crude now with our new fancy system. Yeah, I'm at 8 ppm, but it probably just has to cycle through.
Yeah, 8's not bad.
Yeah.
Better than whatever else it is.
So theoretically, you could do this. Car's dusty, dirty, or whatever, not super dirty. I'm going to go for a drive or something, and I don't want, or I'm going to do this, or my car is not super dirty. I did 2% panel impact ratio for maximum cleaning, turn my CR spotless on for rinsing, and then I can just walk away. So truly touchless washing. Now, not nearly as effective as real washing, but can at least do something. Here, let me show you why I think bottom up washing makes sense. You can really see it with this product. So if I wash them top down, then I'm going to rinse, and most of this product will come off. But just watch the surface level bubbles that come and follow my rinse. So there will be the initial bubbles come off, and then there's like a secondary layer that theoretically would come off of the dirt. Yeah, so you see this here. It's hard to show. This like secondary layer of bubbles. If I wash from here, and look, it's rinsing it all off. And so I want that to come off, that secondary layer of whatever it is, bubbles. I want that to come off with the pressure washer. At least makes sense to me. In other words, I want as much of the soap to come off under pressure as possible. It'd be pretty sweet. I can just blow dry this thing off and good to go. Now, I don't think I'd feel comfortable putting a car cover on it after this level of wash, but if I just wanted to go to a car show or something and my car was somewhat dirty but not super dirty, do this and go. Nice. So that's an actual touchless. Touch no hyphenless. Yeah. Versus touch hyphenless. Because the product, the moniker, Pan taught me this, I didn't realize this, but it's touch hyphen-less. Not touchless, like you don't have to touch it. Just touch your car less. That's the concept. So then I'll just blow dry this off and we're good to go. All right, so I think that helps at least set us up. Well, I guess I can't wash the car this way. Or is that when I shot it across the room? I think,
Sure, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So dual Krenzla, single Krenzla. Pretty simple. Follow that procedure. Use the calculator on our website. So figure out the amount of water you needed or used.
Normally you do it once.
And then write it on the back of the bottle. And then when you get a new bottle, just transfer it to the new bottle and write it on the back of the new bottle. And you probably won't have to do that more than once. You'll memorize it forever. Nothing should change. So anyway, hope that helps. Awesome stuff. It's available in the store. If you're watching this now, it's available for pre-order. My wagers will sell out the first container before it gets here. So, we're a first come, first serve type, pre-order company. As soon as you get your order in, those orders will get shipped first. So anyway, thanks for watching. And as always, stay tuned for more crazy. We're gonna keep chasing this stuff. My formal apology to the Europeans. You guys were right all along. I should have listened to you. In fairness, though, you guys didn't have a product quite this good, 10 years ago when I was adamantly against this.
Yeah, that's what I've said too, is I bet you the reason you didn't like pre-foaming is because the soaps at the time didn't do anything.
Well, they did very little, but they stripped my wax off too.
Yeah.
So, see you soon.